Hey folks, my name's Jeremy. I am from Adreno, and today we're doing a comparison on a couple of BCDs, the Apeks Exotec and the Zeagle Ranger. If you are looking for more detail, I do a full review on both of these BCDs, but today we want to talk a little bit about a comparison of these two top of the line rear inflation or wing style BCDs. So when we start having a look, instantly we are drawn to the colors on the Apeks. We're finding here a BCD that draws comparisons from some of the tech diving metal backplate market. Some people will be just drawn straight to the design. Some people want colors, they want things to pop, they want it to stand out, and if so, then there's not really much of a comparison. You want to buy something that's colorful and bright. Another key thing, the Apeks brand is synonymous with adventure and quality, so a lot of people want to buy something that is straight up good quality. So good quality and a brand that they know. Now, the Zeagle, straight away, some people again are just drawn to. It is just a beautiful, tough piece of equipment. You look at it and straight away you can see that everything's heavy duty. Stainless steel, really tough. Really good, tough nylon. It has a lot about it that instantly shows off the durability and the quality of this BCD. And so for many people as well who know the name, Zeagle stands out as a brand that's quality. A brand that has for a very long time worked with military grade components and worked with the US military to have a great equipment that is long lasting, and believe it or not has been in the country for over 30 years supplying divers with high quality equipment. So for a number of people, again, drawn to the name, the quality, the style, and so it stands out. So first of all, the diver that's going to want to come in and buy such a BCD is a diver who's looking for adventure, a diver that's looking to remain in the sport for a long time and wants quality, or some divers, you know, it's a bit like people who own SUVs, high performance vehicles. There's a reason why you buy something high performance, and that's so you've got something in the tank for when you really need it. You might never need it, you might need it only one time, but if you do, you've got the quality there that it requires. Now, if we look at these two side by side, we've got a couple of different things. First of all, stark difference here. We're looking at, on the back, visibly you can see, we've got a donut style rear inflation versus the horseshoe style, which is a little bit more of a traditional rear inflation. Now, when it comes to pros and cons, again, it depends on the diver. The Zeagle compensate for that horseshoe shape where sometimes air can get trapped in one side, giving you a little bit of lift additionally on one side. We've got dump valves on the front, down the bottom. Easy to deal with that, easy access. Dump valves on the front so they can't get stuck when you're going through an enclosed or tight space. Zeagle, the donut shape, quite popular these days. Air can't get trapped, so there will be quite a few people that will want that style of BCD where the air can't get caught in those spaces. But what we do notice on the back, again with the Ranger, two cam bands. We're talking about great support. There's no way your cylinder can fall out, even if one of them isn't secured as well. The grip lock though, fantastic with both Apeks and Aqualung have that grip lock. Really easy to strap to your cylinder, but the dual cam bands there for the Zeagle. Some people will want the dual cam band so they can't see their cylinder lost in any way, shape or form. When we come to the front of the BCD, we're looking at a couple of bits and pieces here. We've got integrated weight systems. Apeks are using the Sure-Lock system, a traditional integrated weight system. Sure-Lock is one of the trendsetters, one of the originators of it. Very traditional weight release system. Whip that out, there's your weight pocket, and you are now on your way to safety and getting yourself positively buoyant. Compatible across the range there with Apeks or Aqualung. The Zeagle has its own patented ripcord system, which you can see a few more demonstrations in our other videos. But that system there, what you find easy, one hand, in any scenario, you will be able to reach down and ditch both weights at exactly the same time. There's no mucking around to try and find anything else. So as far as a release system, fantastic. We can rip that cord and all of our weights fall out. Fantastic. What is make or break for most people when it comes to the Zeagle is actually the reassembly. We have a really tough parachute cord, a monofilament line that does need to be rethreaded. It's going to take you about 5 minutes to fiddle around, but what you would find for most people is if you've dumped your weights, you're probably not doing the second dive. So rethreading that does take a moment of patience, but it is not overly complicated, and it is outweighed by the benefits of positive buoyancy and the fact that should you ever lose your pockets, you have a system there that you can still run your weights. Pouches themselves, you can either run these optional weight pouches to make it easy to pass to the dive deck, or you could run just weights straight in that pocket. If you lose your weight pouches, you can still dive with this BCD. If you lose your weight pouches here on a standard integrated BCD, there is no option, you will have to use a weight belt. So there are some pros to a slightly more complicated threading system, but there are some pros to the integrated weight system on the Zeagle. We then come to the inflation system. When it comes to performance, you can't fault either. Both fantastic for inflating. When it comes to cleaning, we've got to give the edge there to the Zeagle. Fantastic for cleaning. You can remove the head of that inflator to pump the water straight in and flush the bladders of these BCDs. But again, for someone who takes their time to clean their BCD, there won't be too much drama there at all. When we're looking at materials, Apeks have jumped into some really technical new materials here. So they have the GripTech fabric, they have the Armor Guard fabric in the bladder. We're talking about quick drying, we're talking about a BCD that won't slide around on you through the additional engineering of these fabrics. That's going to hold a lot of appeal for quite a few divers and is very comfortable. The Zeagle uses ballistic nylon, very durable. It is known to be durable. It will last you many years. And I guess that comes with origination. Original engineering. How long does it last? How will it perform out in the ocean? My guess is it's going to last really well, but we're not quite sure. But still, for a lot of people, they'll put that on and feel super comfortable. But if you want to stick with tradition, the ballistic nylon of the Zeagle will really be very comfortable for those. When it comes to comfort and support, both of them really stand out as leaders in their field for getting a good, comfortable fit. Both have adjustment through the shoulders, both have adjustment through the waistband. This one here specifically in the Apeks will require some tools. The Zeagle potentially not, you may need a flathead screwdriver, but really quick and easy to make an adjustment to fit you personally. So what we're talking about is secure fit. So we will have the personal fit system through Zeagle and the Rapture system through the Apeks. You're going to find a really good fit. Both of them are going to be fantastic for you, whatever your size or body shape. When it comes to fit underwater and movement underwater, well, Apeks have jumped into their own sort of field here with this articulating bioreact system through the lumbar region. There is a bit of a doorstop style rubber at the back here. How that will last long term, I'm sure it's going to be fantastic, but this is a new product. It's a bit hard to guess, but for most divers, I'm guessing that's going to be a lot of appeal, a lot of pros to it, but we haven't seen it before, so that is a question. When it comes to lightweight, neither BCD falls into the travel department. They both are BCDs you would buy for long-term use. They're not the heaviest BCD out there. The Apeks comes in around 4.5 kilos, Zeagle about 3.8, so slightly lighter on the Zeagle, so slightly lighter on your excess baggage. So Apeks just a little heavier, and that's what we're finding through your aluminium backplate there. Very durable, very tough, and the design of that is give you some durability, but also to support the Rapture system, which really is an innovation in design and comfort. So Without that back plate, we don't have that kind of support there, which really supports you in the water, but even out of the water. So you do have some really great support for those people with a bad back. I'd highly recommend the Exotec for you for support when you are out of the water and walking around on the dive deck. Zeagle, interesting backplate system. It is cross-hatched ballistic nylon again, which is actually foldable. So the dual tank bands will give you the support during the dive, so you won't find at any point that your balance or buoyancy is compromised. You will have rigidity and structure, but folding will make things quite nice and easy for you when it comes to traveling. And when it comes to lift, we do have very similar lift capacities. Apeks though does have the edge there, about 45 to 49 pounds of lift, depending on the size. Across the range, Zeagle at 44. One thing that's important to note, Apeks previously the black ice, you could buy a kit to run twin cylinders on it. That's no longer the case with this current style, but Zeagle still has a twin tank compatibility. So you will need to buy a few additional bits and pieces there. Zeagle have a great video about that, but you can run twin tanks there. So it does sit alone now as it's only the only BCD that I currently know of that can run twin tanks. So it really has that flexibility going forward. Something that a lot of people talk about for their BCD is they want pockets. Now, if you're talking about a rear inflation BCD, we're really not talking about pockets. We're talking about D-rings, finding ways to attach your bits and pieces through your dive, but let's highlight them. Zeagle does have a pocket to the side of its dumpable weight system. There's a little bit of space in there, potentially for SMB, potentially for some spare bits and pieces, your spare torch, some gloves, and the Exotec does have, again, a small fold-out pocket. There is a bit of room in there for bits and pieces that you do want to carry. So for those who pockets are important, look, there are some more pockets on here than you would find on your next step up into your backplate and wing style bit of equipment. But really there's some small pockets there for stowage. And the last thing I'd highlight here is our trim pocket scenario on the Zeagle. Trim pouches here at the back, really obvious, in an obvious spot there. The Apeks, not so obvious. We've got these small trim pockets here on the cummerbund, as opposed to that usual place here. But you could, if you wanted to, very simple, if you wanted to purchase some additional trim pockets and add them to the grip lock there to run it in a more traditional capacity to balance your trim out. So not a big difference there. Over the counter, you'll find that the Zeagle itself comes with a heftier price tag, and that comes down simply to some of the construction, that ballistic nylon, and the Apeks there will come in a little bit cheaper, but both of them still sit in that premium market and a really good quality option to consider for your investment. For most divers though, I think you're going to find a BCD here that would be ticking a lot of boxes for you in terms of long-term durability. A BCD you could have for many years, if not decades. You would have a BCD you could customize and fit perfectly to you, and both sitting in that premium price point, but for a diver who's really serious about diving or just wants great quality to have peace of mind through your dive, both are a great choice. I think the features we've highlighted are going to help divers lean towards one or the other. But I don't think you can make a wrong decision when it comes to either the Exotec or the Ranger. I think it comes down to personal fit for you, what feels really comfortable. And for a rear inflation BCD, I think they're both a fantastic choice. Guys, thanks for watching. Jeremy here again from Adreno in Brisbane. And I hope you've enjoyed our review of the Apeks Exotec and the Zeagle Ranger. For more information, watch our complete review on these items, but definitely check it out for your investment in your own personal dive setup.